Yeah, none of us could hear anything on here.
I can hear you, Greg. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I didn't hear anything else though. Like I did initially when we got in.
I can't either.
Your office does look like a dark cave, TJ.
It is. It's slightly darker than it should be. I don't have any overhead lighting, so I've got no real way to.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, finally.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
There is an internet glitch. It's being resolved. Please give us a few moments. We'll be right there. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about this. I think
You might need to go into the settings because the aux is on.
I think now it should work, right? The audio?
Like you hear that buzz? That's your.
Where?
Progressing, it's moving favorably. Let us know when we can kick off.
Select the audio device.
It is already on the external headphone. Yeah, this is. Okay. I think let's kick off, right?
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, sorry about the delay. And we are kicking off now. Thomas, over to you.
Oh, would you like me? Is that mine? It's feedback. That's me. Okay. For some reason,
Given the pandemic coming first, we are looking forward to more and more of these types of events.
Make the sound, this speaker's down. I'm using the phone. Just make it down, please.
Load on. You guys that are here. To join us in this networking event, but doing it in such a way that they're comfortably at home and online. Are we good?
Yeah.
It's my pleasure to welcome you to this, The Meet. For those of you that would be Googling it later, it's the capital THE dash meet, small m.
Can you use this
We
camera?
certainly hope you'll visit our website. It's
Do the
evolving.
live.
It's a great amount of information there for you to take a look at. We do want to thank you for coming to the Retail Fashion Lifestyle Consumer Industry Executive Forum. But let's not forget, tonight is a holiday connect. We'd like to wish and extend good holiday cheer, kick off the holiday spirit to everyone that's here today, as well as those that have joined with us online. You know, my name is Thomas Stone, and I have the privilege to work with some very accomplished IT professionals across global competency centers to drive exceptional outcomes for clients and partners. But tonight, I'm what's known as event ambassador, along with Jeannie Gilardi. There are other colleagues assembled tonight that are also event ambassadors, and you'll probably pick them out pretty easily. But we're all here for the purpose of providing information and answering any of the questions that you may have. We also make a promise that if you ask us a question, which is entirely possible we know the answer to, we know who to ask and we'll get it to you in record time. So it's our great pleasure to do that. This event and all of the events to follow is dedicated to exceptional telemarketing networking opportunities. And those exceptional networking opportunities are designed to support meaningful thought leadership connections And when we talk about thought leadership connections, we're talking about accessibility to subject matter experts that can help you in your career, can be people that serve as mentors. And the whole purpose of the meet is to make sure we compete successfully in the world and assemble these ambassadors, executive ambassadors that can facilitate, can mentor the membership as we go forward. And we're looking forward to each and every one of you, your peers, your colleagues, and your friends to join along with us as we go forward. You know, I've done a lot of reading and over my career, it's a lot longer than I'd like to admit. I've been to a great many of these networking events. And I think we can all agree that occasionally they're not the most fun. Maybe there's a sense of anxiety or trepidation about working the room. And some days it goes a little bit better than others. But in reading about these events, I've come to learn a few things. What I've heard from and I've learned from the real impressive people in the world, like the Steve Jobs and Dale Carnegie, Chopra. It's all about relationships. And what I can tell you is as you go forward with these networking events, and we certainly hope you do, it's about having a very genuine, sincere, and authentic interest in finding out about the other guy. Because in sharing that information and getting to know them, you will grow, I assure you. And the thing that's inspired me all along about these networking events is the author, Greg Roche, who has proven time and time again that in his writings, he knows you're one person away from a life-changing opportunity. And, you know, maybe that'll happen to someone tonight. Let's see. So before we get into our program, and Jeannie and I see if we can answer some of the questions that are put forward to us, we'd be remiss if we didn't call attention to a couple of people. The people who have actually done all the heavy lifting and made this possible. So if Pragya, if Manali, and Dipti could gather around here, I'd like to ask everyone, if you would, just come a little closer to some. If you'd all come together, we'd like everyone here to recognize the fact that you guys have worked tirelessly to ensure the success of this event. Except Pragya over there is getting the signature. We have asked if we are making these events a success. And please look forward to our upcoming event in January that will coincide with the NRF show. These folks are already ensured that it's going to be impeccable. So guys, anything you want to say to the team?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And man, did they make my life. They were great. So with that in mind, I think it's important that we have the opportunity to be available to you to answer questions. And Jeannie, would you like to jump in here and be my partner? Sure. We're going to do the electric slide.
So I can't.
You're not as loud as I am. So I think what we wanted to do is, Jeannie, thank you for your presence. What has happened is members to the meeting have sent questions in advance about some of the things that are listed. And we've assembled them.
I can't.
So testing 1, 2, 3. I'm using this. Anyway, I want to say thank you, Thomas. Thank you, everybody, for being honored to be part of the IFIA and ambassador. I think the idea when we were coming up with the logo or what is the meat? And it was explore, think, meat. And it really made sense to me. I've been in the meat industry for many years, and I've been part of ASUGs, I've been part of other formal group meetings, and I really never felt like I was intimately involved in it. So I really think that this is an effort that is needed, and I'm honored to be part of it. That said, I would like to turn this over to Sujay, because he has some great questions.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Tom, for the nice introduction. So, yeah, we have collected a few questions from members of the website. So the first question, very interesting question, most important question is, what is IFIA and what is the mean? I heard you mention both. And can you please help me understand what the numbers? Please go ahead.
The mean is a non-for-profit organization which is in the process of launching multiple industry sector forums. So IT, as well as other areas of focus. And those industry sector forums are influenced, facilitated, and mentored by member executive ambassadors. So that's how this organization was able to put together industry forum, executive ambassadors, so that every member knows there is some serious account supporting the activities and training and the subject matter expertise. So I'm always found top leadership connections, which are critical to everyone's growth, career path, and success going forward.
Is this the first time you're holding such an event, or have you done this before?
Nope. The idea and concept for this program was pioneered back in December 2019, right before the pandemic. We're not that old. Well, maybe. The idea of this was very successful in 2019, right before the pandemic. Forums were supported not only here in the United States, but also in New Jersey. And they had extraordinary turnout. And the feedback was such that we recognized we need to remain confident and move forward and move this vision to a further success. So that's a great question. We're looking forward to continuing to grow this for all concerned.
Thanks for the clarification, Tom. But there's another more relevant question. So who is behind the meeting?
So behind the meet is a board of directors. We are currently and excited about onboarding more board of directors to be part of our vision and our evolution. We can talk about this if anybody's interested in being part of the board of directors or an ambassador. Just find anyone of us that's on this team. We'd be more than happy to talk to you about the membership program. But it is a group of individuals, mostly industry-centric professionals that just had a really good idea and vision that aligns with what our vision is. And it's a really good vision. And I say that personally.
I'd also like to invite you, if you have relatives, peers, coworkers, who you think would do well in a leadership role of this type, please make them aware of our opportunities, right?
And Thomas, you make a really great point. I think that I don't want anybody to think that this is a specific company or a specific group of companies. We really are encouraging anybody that is in the retail, fashion, consumer goods, that we can bring so much talent together in a very thoughtful and mindful way. And that's what we're really doing. We're not trying to be so specific. So bring all the talent in and let's all work together, learn together, think and explore together.
I think we got that part. We got to do this. We got board members.
Yeah, that sounds very interesting, right? So you have all these people coming together to the meet. So what is the biggest driver for change?
One of the biggest drivers would be a very laser focused opportunity for local leaders to network and share meaningful insights, their competitive edge, the value that they bring. The more we share that information, it has been an incredible accomplishment for retail. Everyone here knows that there's no other industry that was hard hit by the pandemic, but no other industry was as resilient in its rebounding and figuring out how to create innovation to get beyond. And now, beyond the pandemic, there seems to be limitless growth and opportunity. And we're looking forward to making certain that that type of information is kept shared among the members. We also want to make sure that everything we do is effectively value driven. A polite way of saying sometimes some of the offerings in the market today might be a cost. We want to make sure we don't prevent entry to anyone who is looking to enhance their career and benefit from the experience of others. And we want to make certain that everyone recognizes it as well in a most collaborative way. So that's kind of what's behind our mission at hand.
And if I could just say, as a professional in this industry, I said, I'll say it again, going to ASA, going to Sapphire, it's very costly. It's very, it's very formal. And I think what we're trying to bring to this platform is a very informal, mindful, and thoughtful
Right. I think you're right on.
roundtable discussion. And it doesn't matter what company you're from. It just matters that we think, explore, and learn. And I love and meet. And I love those.
The presentation
I
that's
love
on the presentation that's being presented today is available to everyone. It's part and parcel of the web. What I take away from that, instead of keeping you here all night long, all those details, is the fact that there are formal and very informal opportunities for everyone to gain value as we move forward. We welcome opinion, we welcome recommendations and suggestions, and we welcome your helping us grow.
So thank you, Tom. Thank you. So you explained some of the drivers of having the meet, right? And like you mentioned, there are many other events like this happening. So can you help us understand where does the meet fit in the conference space? Like what is the vision of the meet that will keep itself apart from others?
We are very enthusiastic, motivated upstart. We believe there are gaps in that industry, and we would like to be the solution to fill some of those gaps. We want to make sure there is ample, agile accessibility to the program, and everyone feels welcome. Some of those larger programs are a little intimidating. We want everyone to feel welcome and have some voice in our program. We also want to tap some of those industry leaders that perhaps would welcome an organization like ours so that they can mentor, help other people grow from their vast experience. These are great innovators. We are very proud. We'd like to bring the board as quickly into our program as possible. Space. You can go forward to see markets.
Thanks again, Tom. So it's nice that you picked a niche area to have these events. So what is going to be the framework or approach for the meet? You said think, explore, meet. So how would that play out here?
Genius.
I love those things. I want to say thank you for, yeah, we'll get to that person soon. But it's a great question. So whoever asked it, thank you. I think that if you just think about those three words, think, explore, and meet, I know it's going to sound weird, but storytelling, we all grew up telling stories and sitting around a kitchen table telling stories. You learn a lot about a person, you learn a lot about a company. So I think there's this concept of sitting together, meeting, storytelling, learning from each other. What are your challenges in your company, right? I'm not talking about childhood stories, but in your company, in your organization. So storytelling, sharing, thinking together, collaborating together, exploring together. What have you done? What can I learn from you? I think these are the things that we bring to the meet that is a gap in our industry. And I'm proud of it. So that's what the framework is, to think, explore, and meet. And I can't say it better.
Our goal is to hopefully harness specialized that's out there, make it available.
And network. And network.
Thanks, Jenny. Excellent for clarifying that. So to help the audience understand, how is the meet structure, like the organization itself?
On the chat. See, no problem.
We consider to be those industry executive messengers. They will, as I said, facilitate, mentor, will make certain the structure enables all members great access to insights, the insights in which they can internalize and implement in their jobs, not next year, not next month, but tomorrow. So thank you so much, everyone. We are very much appreciative of your time and effort. And I think the time has come for the next portion of our program.
One more question, Tom. Because I think there's a lot of exciting things happening. When is the next meet?
The next meet, there's another one?
Yes.
Wait, we gotta do the other slide.
Is there one?
This
That's
one.
the question.
Oh, geez, come on. This one. Well, someone's going to turn that next slide. I'd like everyone to see. Boom. No. Boom. No. Yay! Folks, in coordination with the NRF, the National Retail Federation, the Jacob Chapman Expo, Sunday night, January 16th, at a very hip establishment called the Moxie, we will have our next formal launch of the meet. And we are looking forward to welcoming each and every one of you to that event. And if you have any other questions about that, don't hesitate. Hey, Sujay, thanks for.
Thank you, John.
I'm sorry, I missed that. That's my bad. I'd like to introduce Anurag. Anurag Varshney is among those thought leaders that we refer to. Anurag Varshney is the driving force behind the meet, among many other people. Anurag has assembled and has some people for you to meet who are thought leaders and great executives who are serving as panelists with us today. So, Mr. Varshney, thanks. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Before I say anything, sincere apologies to people online. When I logged in, key panelists, they are still waiting online. So before I say, and then when mic is in my hand, I have a tendency to keep going on, to be honest. And then this is a topic which is very close to my heart: networking, professional relationship, growing, doing investment into the networking had been happening probably since my childhood of the career when I started. And I say that is the trees, the plantation, which we do it not for today, but we always do it for future. And then we keep doing it. Let's keep doing it. And there are a lot of things which I want to say, but what I would like to do is turn this even a little bit toward more online to see who all are waiting. And then if they have anything to say, And at the same time, can I invite some of my friends, Rob and Esteban, if you guys can come in here, and then please come and join with me here, and a round of applause. Thank you. And Ramesh and Raj, please join in here too, and let's have a little party here. And yeah, on the chair. Yeah, please. So we are kicking off this little late as best as we wanted to. I think plan is as a plan as best it really plans out, right? We tried to do it. I think the team did a fabulous job. Sorry for the slang. A fabulous job. And then I would say the round of applause to the team who have put together this all lovely decoration, all the invitations, all the work had been done, including such a lovely overall the ambience setup. So round of applause to them. Pat your back. Thank you. Now I would like to see that if I can have just wanted to see that Greg and TJ, are they still online, and how can I connect with them?
We're here.
Can you check please? Can we
Yeah,
hear
we're on the Zoom, if it's helpful.
Okay, perfect. And then sorry about this, all this, but can I borrow your attention and then see that we can learn from your experience, and then thankful to have you at our forum. Would you like to share some thoughts that how, in your opinion, how innovation is driving new normal, and what the technology trends are coming these days, in your opinion? And it's like, once again, thank you for making out to this event. I know it was a very short notice, and then humbly thanking for all this, everybody who came online. I see a lot of people online, and TJ, over to you, if you can share some of your thoughts.
I mean, of course, certainly. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can, very, very well.
Good. Very good. And so, yeah, no, thanks for having me. I appreciate the time. And yeah, despite the technical difficulties, it's nice to be with you tonight. So I appreciate it. I would say, to me, I mean, it's been a crazy time, right? So for everybody, it's been a crazy time. And I think in general, the way I think about innovations driving the new normal, I mean, I think about all this retail and fashion, and to me, it's an accelerant. The world is just going faster. We all know the consumer is going, has moved to online purchasing. We've seen that trend for years. But what I think stopped us all in our tracks is the pace with which that happened. And so to me, when I think about the way that we're working within all of our workplaces and all of our companies, it's a new speed. There's a new importance on making the investments faster, getting the accomplishments quicker. And I think we all thought we had 3 or 4 years. We knew we were making like incremental improvement in our digital footprint, and we were tying multi-channel together in an omni way, and we were identifying ways to see our consumer across channels and to understand them better and to market specifically to them. But now all of a sudden it has to happen or we'll lose them. And I think you've seen a couple of statistics that I think about that are staggering. I mean, one is the number of consumers that switched brands during the pandemic that may not have had an impetus to switch brands, but did because they didn't have a digital footprint for the one that they might have preferred. And so you start to see companies that are missing out on opportunities because of where they were from an investment posture or an accomplishment posture in this space. And so I think that to me is an interesting trend and a thing to think about. I think the second piece that we all in retail and fashion we're working on is this concept of in-store digitization. And how do we make our consumer feel like they're with us as a brand owner, or an experience owner, and with us only? And how do we do that across the channels? And so technology has long been a challenge. I think there's been a lot of improvements and changes in the way that the technology works. that have enabled us to do far more in this space. But there are a lot of challenges, and I know we're all working on that. And I think, to me, this concept of speed and acceleration is something that we're all experiencing, and it's how we manage that as leaders within this industry, to achieve what we need to achieve. And so, I've got a lot of things to say, a lot of ideas, but it's a strange time for all of us, and I think it's to me, it's a fantastic time to talk and think together and learn from each other. Of course, we're in similar and different industries at times, but we can all learn from one another and understand certainly the context and the macro climate as we go after these changes. But I want to add one thing on others is all this is taking place in for me within this digitization and speed and to digital, but we also have a ton of optimism around the physical experience. And so how do we marry the physical experience and think about reinvestment in the physical the real in-person experience, and connect that with our digital experiences and make them meaningful for our consumers? And so, I think there's a ton of opportunity ahead of us, and it'll be very interesting to see where we go.
Very good. I think some of the points which is today's learning is from TJ. I would say how to marry the physical experience with the digital experience. Very, very strong point, because the branding so far had been, the big brands had been doing the branding using brick and mortar stores, or a lot of physical experience they were using. And then now things are shifting drastically toward the digital world, right? And then I like the point that, hey, the companies definitely have the challenges to see how fast they can go. I mean, they had been quite a bit successful. I mean, the success is proven through their sales or their numbers or the margins. That's definitely coming up. But there is definitely, I completely agree. I think there is quite a bit of learning out there for the companies to see how effectively they can do more. That's a very, very great point, number one. And number two, which is very common, is about the change. You made this ample clear. What do you think as part of the change? I mean, change has brought a lot of innovation. I completely agree. I think as an individual, what do you think, in your opinion, if you can share some more, say the change has brought some technology trends which are more evident or more visible to you as opposed to it was prior to the Corona period or COVID-19 pandemic? I mean, is there anything you may want to, I know you are right now, you have a ton of thoughts because you yourself also moved quite a bit in your career, right? And you are seeing the global world now, which is good. So would like to bring some more learning toward this forum to see if you can share some more thoughts that what are the top trends you can think of?
Sure. I mean, a couple of tech trends, right? So naturally, collaboration and workflow is key right now. People are connecting. They're connecting digitally and in unique ways. They're coming together in any way they can. And so what I find interesting is the seamless integration of collaboration and workflow in the digital space is fascinating to me. And it's fascinating to me as a consumer of it, not a driver. And so I find that to be an interesting tech trend. The second one, I mean, and I'm sure we'll talk a lot about this in time, but seamless channel integration. The ability to have an experience in the parking lot, online, or in the physical store, or anywhere with a brand that is meaningful and is consistent and is branded is interesting to me. And I think, the third piece, I think, e-commerce where you never expect it. So I personally order a bagel in the parking lot at a bagel store or on the way to the bagel store for a mom and pop bagel shop that has a commerce platform now. They didn't have that. That was an important thing in their business model in 2019. They have to have it to survive today. And so the amount of times people are actually engaging digitally will only raise the sort of the digital EQ of the world. And I think it is imperative for all of us to go faster. If you're buying a bagel online, then you certainly expect that your big retailers and your big brands to know you and understand you in a way that's more sophisticated than the bagel shop. And so I think that I'm experiencing situations where occasionally the bagel shop's doing a better job than some of my favorite brands. And I think that's just, we all have to kind of get out of that, recognize that and go a little faster.
Very powerful example. I mean, sure, this is good. I have few more, gentlemen. Can I still keep you hanging in there and do a quick round and then see? I give few minutes to everyone and then see what do they think about the tech trends and then how the innovation is driving. Is that okay, TJ? Can we have you there? So I have here 2-3 gentlemen, and then I'll just quickly pick their opinion. Esteban, can you share your experience? What do you think as in the industry? What tech trends are coming, or how innovation is driving new normal? Whatever your experience, I would like to learn from your experiences.
Thank you all. Thanks for the opportunity. This may become a soup of acronyms or buzzwords from the industry, right? I happen to be the parent of a 14-year-old, and she is the consumer of the now and the future. So you're talking about trends, how do we meet them? The company that I work for has made a ton of investments in how to digitize, how to get closer to the consumer, how to become consumer-centric. So the trend is getting closer to the consumer, and how you get your brand DNA to get closer to them in everything you do. So it doesn't matter whether it's the in-store experience, whether it's your website, or whether it's the ecosystem of influencers that are promoting a particular brand or a particular product. So all of these need to move seamlessly through the enterprise, through whatever you're trying to support, right? The technology exists, is how you best use it. From a trend perspective, the only thing that I can tell you that I see that it's, I guess, a common theme is getting close to what that consumer is. We were talking about the example of the bagel shop and how the bagel shop may be winning at a higher pace than probably a much larger enterprise. I think it's because they do care about that one sale or that one experience, because they need that repeat customer. So that trend to me is something that is an excellent example that should be borrowed by the larger enterprise. They can afford to maybe ignore a customer complaint or to be late with something, but a much smaller business cannot.
So this is good segue. So number one is they probably would like to set up the supply chain, and second is they would like to have a high touch also. Is that also a direction, or you think it's coming in opening up the channel?
If you want to talk about digital, there's a whole new ecosystem now out there. All the buzzwords like metaverse, NFTs, everybody's jumping into the pool because it's cool, right? So everything that gets your name attached to a new trend,
of course,
gets you more likes,
sure,
gets your views, and it gets that engagement.
Sure.
And you can drive engagement to working with the consumer and getting closer to how they shop or how they seek for product, and adding a social component of that. Adding also, trying to do good for the environment, and all of those things come into play.
Social media certainly is a big power now. And then I had been reading one of the McKinsey, it's like I just keep reading in between, and I'm sure everybody does now, especially after the Corona thing. This has increased for everybody. And consumers are now not only feeling spendy, they definitely did a big purchasing, consuming, right? They started calling that as a revenge shopping. So how to vent out, how to cover up the lost spending time. They went crazy for that. And a lot of influence was from the social media for that. So yes, so hold on to that, and then we'll go to Rob, my friend, and we'd like to pick some opinion and experience from you. What do you think? What are the technology trends? Or you can pick up either the innovation side, or you can pick up the tech trends. What do you think? What's
There's a lot of options right there.
okay?
So first, I want to touch on something TJ said. It's focus, right? Buy online, pick up in store. So he's talking about the bagel company that allows for that. But before COVID, before any of this happened, Starbucks had already been doing that, and they killed it. And that's where they really exceeded their competitors. You were able to order, go in, pick it up, walk away. So a lot of people like bypassing the line. I don't have to wait in a 10-person line to get my coffee. I get regular black coffee. Forget the frappuccinos or all that stuff. But people who have to wait for their coffee, why not order ahead 10 minutes and go pick it up? I think that's the more companies that do that, the more innovative. Now, Starbucks was well ahead of their time. Now everyone's catching up. Now, what is Starbucks going to do on top of that?
Good example.
I agree with the metaverse. So I think the metaverse is very new, right? We don't know what we don't know. Facebook's termed it one thing, and then there's, you think about our Roblox, which I have a tiny baby girl, they play Roblox. There's a whole universe within that you have to pay for. Same thing with Fortnite, same thing with, what else, Minecraft, whatever else they're playing, that stuff's already there. Now there's other games which I'm not familiar with, because it doesn't involve my kids, but people are paying for plots of crazy money for this stuff that we would have never thought. And I think the more companies, the more retailers are trying to get in that now are going to be at an advantage against the retailers who are not there.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I also read about the Starbucks, some of the tech trends, and then they were one of those companies who came up with the apps-based, geolocation-based, proximity-based promotions that actually started catching up even before Corona, but Corona actually, COVID pandemic brought up.
I have 10 Starbucks in my phone, favorite, depending where I am. So on the way here, stop at Starbucks. On the way to work, stop at Starbucks. So depending where I am, they're favored in my phone. So I know exactly when I'm traveling, exactly where I am. So they have all that data. So everything's about data, crunching the numbers and forecasting and figuring it out.
Data is a new gold, right?
Exactly.
All right. So Ramesh, what do you think? What's your favorite topic connected to this new normal, which you think you may want to say anything about?
Sure. I think I'll probably touch on the talent aspects. I think we haven't talked, right? Because to do all of this, you need people, talented people. And I think a new trend, if I would put that, I think we all read in the news media wherever we are, the great resignation and all that stuff. I think whether it's, I think it's a double-edged sword. Like I said, there's positive and negatives on both sides, both talent and the enterprise. Right? Thanks to COVID-19, there are no boundaries now. Right? We can hire people. Pretty much all organizations. I know. Why would this stand for us? So there are no boundaries. Yeah. So I think it's good for both the companies as well as the talent. On the reverse side, the negative side, I think even before COVID, I think that's just a normal factor. When you have to onboard or offboard, anybody, it takes a lot of time. So I think it's for companies to how they can, for all these new technologies, all these trends, whatnot. Technologies will come and go, right? I mean, there's every few years there's something new coming up. How they have to invest, upskill. I see a lot. That's what I see in a lot of good progressive companies where they spend millions of dollars on upskilling their employees, making sure they're the best and brightest. And now, another trend which I'm seeing on the talent perspective. I know somebody. Again, I think we talked about analytics and whatnot. He just left the company I worked for. He had a job in Facebook. He had 5 offers, by the way. BlackRock, one more for Vanguard, Facebook, Amazon. So this is somebody coming out of industry, who's getting, and these are all he got like without really doing anything, like just came to it, that kind of thing. That shows, what's happening in the market space. I think it's for us as managers. I think a lot of us, manage teams. I think to take care of people, because otherwise, you can talk, and it's just a talk.
Yeah, this is a good segue. I guess I think the mental health opportunities, career opportunities, shift in the career opportunities. I think that is on the one side mind-boggling because of the technology, because of the demand in certain sectors. Probably certain sectors are disappearing more and more. So this shift has brought in how to upskill your resources, how to incentivize, reward your people, and not only to retain, but to promote the right skills. So I completely agree. So coming back to, I think I'll shift the gears back to the online, if that's okay. I have a couple of more folks here. And then can I come back to Greg quickly? What do you think? What's your biggest take on this? That how COVID-19 has led to the situation, and then if you have any perspective about how innovation is driving the retail or fashion or tech trends, whichever you want to pick up down. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Okay, perfect. I mean, I think the new normal is driving the innovation, right? It's not the innovation driving the new normal. And I think of things that are happening, socially, right? So this social media becoming a new channel and integrating social media with e-commerce, like Facebook shops, or TikTok partnering with Shopify to embed videos and buying experiences that way. I also think about what's kind of changing, starting to change culturally, like a lot of the things that have happened, as TJ mentioned, were things that were sort of already in the works, they were just sped up. Now I think there's things that are not in the works that are gonna happen. So one of the things that I think we've always known in the US as retailers is that the shopping experience is very different in China. That people go to the store for the experience of the store, not typically to buy, right? In the US, we used to go to buy. So I think that in-store experience is going to be very different and much more digital and more of a family outing experience than a buying experience. And we might see things, in the store, like, being able to buy a pair of shoes and try them out on the basketball court and get pictures taken of yourself while you're in the new shoes. So I think the in-store experience is going to change. Other things that I think are interesting socially, right? So I live in the city in Baltimore, for those that don't know. And, when COVID started, it was a big opportunity for everybody to pick up the packages that were on people's steps, right? And so I and my neighbors pick up everybody's packages and try to keep up with that. But things like lockers are much more important to the consumers that have been in the past. And even having, I think what's coming are like individual lockers on the streets for Amazon and UPS to be able to drop packages in also to protect those packages that are on front doorsteps. And there's obviously a lot more than there has been in the past.
Right. Yeah, I think this is the example of, I would say, I made some notes while I was preparing for this email. And this touches that, the in-store experience. And when I was reading one article, and when you said about the in-store, it reminds me about one article that says that I think the consumer behavior is changing dramatically, right? Yeah. As soon as COVID-19 pandemic started, the companies started riding on the wave that everything is moving digital, everything will be an experience which would be all remote and digital type of experience. And then everybody, the world started thinking it's going crazy, 100% out there. Yeah. But as soon as this opened up, this world started opening up, and there was a surprisingly or favorably surprises that the consumers started moving to the in-store purchases. I think they got probably bored very fast buying online, and there was a lot of turnout. People were standing in the queues for half an hour, for 1 hour, and then they were just waiting for products to buy of their own style, and then they were not knowing what to buy. They were just want to buy, probably they just wanted to buy the brand and then whatever the products are inside. So how do you relate this experience? Is this a cyclic experience wherein
I think
Digital and contact, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I think, Anurag, that there's a convergence going both ways, right? I mentioned about the convergence into the store, but think about the store convergence into e-commerce, like, you know, more augmented reality, more, you know, 3D types of pictures, more of the store experience in the e-com side, right? Because we all know, I go through it, I'm sure we all go through it. I'm sometimes afraid to buy stuff online because I can't see it and feel it, and I don't know, I can't, you know, I don't know it as well as I would if I was in the store, right? So if I'm, you know, if I buy pants, right, I can see them, but I really don't know what the fabric's like. I can't see them in enough detail to see the weave and things like that. I can't see, you know, I can't see it from all the sides. So I think that convergence of both e-commerce and brick and mortar is going to go both ways.
Great. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for that insight.
Sure.
I think how the cloud is going to play the role in coming up technology trends. Cloud had been making inroads already, but after COVID-19, do you see some change happening in the trend, or is going to be still with the same pace, in your opinion?
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you. What trend are we talking about specifically, Anurag?
Cloud. So this question is for PJ once again.
Cloud.
Clouds.
I mean, I honestly think the cloud trend had started before, you know, certainly before COVID. I'm personally not sure that COVID has done anything to accelerate or decelerate just the idea of companies moving to the cloud, because I think that was already happening. Maybe some of the other guys might have some more idea on that, if they're moving, some of the guys on the stage, whether they're moving more towards the cloud. But I don't believe, from my history, that COVID accelerated that. That was already well underway and on its path, I think, before COVID.
I see. So other segue is, what do you think? One of the articles says because of the advent of Industry 4.0, amidst in the middle of COVID-19 pandemic, Industry 4.0, which is a 5G, with the coming of 5G last year, right? In November it started, September it started, but now it's moving up. Now companies are actually looking at it closely because it can really automate the manufacturing plant. And one school of thought, some experts feel that because of this, the manufacturing may start coming back to the developed countries, coming back from the developing countries to the developed countries back. And this gap is narrowing down. How do you see this coming up? Anyone else? I mean, I shouldn't point it out to anybody specific. If anybody has any thoughts about this, we can certainly share.
So certainly what I've seen from the manufacturing industry is it's really accelerated putting IoT devices on the manufacturing machines to be more precise in the manufacturing, to measure that process, to measure what's happening, to drive out things like waste and scrap, and to be more efficient in it. So that has, I think, really accelerated over the last 2 years. I think it's still, I think it's coming out of the experimental stage pretty quickly. I think in the last year or so, was a lot of experimenting going on and a little, POC work going on, but I think it's really going mainstream because they've seen the return on investment there with that type of information. I think what the next step is that obviously gathers a lot of data, and there's also a struggle to make sense of and utilize that data that comes off of those IoT devices.
Right, I agree. And the next topic is about the unified commerce. As the customer touch points started becoming more digital, from the in-store experience and customers would like to have a seamless experience, whether it's in-store or digital or mobile or through third-party websites, whether it's Amazon or whatnot, right? There are many third-party websites they do it. What do you think the future for unified commerce is going to look like? Will that be more through the branded, their own websites, their own stores, or there could be a consolidation through the third-party marketplace type of websites, in your opinion? It's just the opinion. I'm not saying it's proven.
I think one of the things that's happened that's been a bit interesting and is still continuing is the companies that grew up digital are building brick and mortar stores, which is a bit interesting considering what's going on, at least initially. But I think when you think about the change in the consumer behavior, and the convergence of both digital and brick and mortar, that actually does make sense. And so I think that trend will continue, and we'll continue to see both of those channels converging as we move forward here.
Very good, thank you. So now segue completely into the networking. TJ, do you have any message for IFIA or the meet in terms of professional networking, or you have any experience or opinion or any message for the audience or for the people related to IFIA or the meet?
Anurag, I apologize for saying this, but could you repeat the question? It's very difficult to hear you. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that. So I'm saying, do you have any message for our online audience as well as the in-person audience here related to professional networking or this forum? We have launched this new forum. It's called Industry Forum of Executive Ambassadors, initiated by the Meet LLC. Do you have any message which can help and encourage the people to join the forum more and more?
Thank you. I'm sorry to make you repeat that. It's kind of like all we've experienced is you're on mute. You're on mute. No, you're on kind of on mute, but you're not. But so no, I can't wait to see faces and shake hands and be in a place. And I know we're all in different places in terms of when and how that can happen, I think. But the virtual exercise and the ability to connect is very powerful and has fueled us long since before COVID, and will continue to be there too. So I think it's for me, personally, I think it's just that human connection, the ability, finding the right forum and the right environment to share experiences in a non-competitive or even a semi-competitive environment is a very positive thing. And so, my advice is to get out there and let's shake hands and see each other again, and let's do it soon. And I can't wait to see you all.
Great. Yeah. So thank you so much for this, and then a great round of applause for our audience, our key panelists, TJ and Greg Hinton. Probably you may not be able to hear much, but everybody is thanking you both for contributing your thoughts. TJ, thank you so much. Lovely having you as always, and then seeing you after a while. And then I would like to quickly invite anybody else if from the audience would like to share any thoughts. I have actually a name coming out. Is Vasant? Vasant, are you there in the? Sorry. Okay, here he goes. Okay, all right. Vasant, would you like to share some thoughts? I know you are very well known face to many of us. First of all, let me share that, and would like to hear from you. What do you think? What would you like to share your thoughts about? Is that a tech trend or right?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, and thanks, TJ, for all these things. I know being at your company for 4 years, I know what we were driving and what's the difference now. and now just to see, obviously, yeah, we talked about digital front and the retail front, but there are things like in other fronts are also happening, because you possibly last year or so we didn't had the wholesale digital marketing happening. The markets are not running because all things are closed out, and that's when the B2B platform are also coming up. So I have seen there is an innovation, and the peoples are trying to connect to the B2B platform, having virtual market, because end of the day you the business work. So I've seen, at least in my company, we the last 4 markets are virtual, because nobody was when I say market is like and put their orders after a fashion show, and all are digital, and we were able to achieve that because platform, and we able to put our new products there, 3D images and rotating images and all those things. And nowadays the back office doesn't have to do anything, because this orders directly, even if it's small and small mom and pop stores, they can directly enter those orders, and nothing to do with the customer service. So that's one thing I observed. And people also, the yeah, we are talking on the front side, but the thought process behind the scene on the supply chain side and the silos, that's completely changed. Nobody's saying, okay, I'm protecting myself or you protect yourself. No, everybody, it's company's property, it's not your property or this group's property or this channel's property, it's company's property. So so the mindset is changing, and based on that, the back office org structure is changing, which is, you can start saying more and more on the digital side, that effect actually more of omni sharing concepts are coming out. So all is driven from the back office to share the inventories and all the other things. So there is the thought process changing, and also the prioritization in the company is changing. Okay, the peoples are start thinking, okay, stores is just not for the end consumers. In this case, it can act like a mini warehouse. Okay, how can I get particular country online with a website? Okay, they have a store, they can ship from store. Why not wait for your warehouse integrations to be done? Just make sure that they are live with a minimal set of hardware and do like a pick pack ship from store. So I think there's different ways the people are start innovating, so that existing infrastructure, new technology, they're trying to see what can be optimized, and again try to see the different ways they can reach customer faster and share the things on the back office side. So that's one viewpoint I had.
I think it's a great point, because it's more operational, and as much as it is tactical, it's very strategic in nature. It's a boundaryless inventory, channel-less cross-channel operations, which are definitely which is the byproduct of all this. Definitely, this is very evident in most of the companies. There used to be a fight from e-commerce to wholesale to retail. That cannibalization used to be highly competitive within the company environment, which is now disappearing. It's a great point. I completely agree with this point. Fantastic. Now moving to some of the new concepts which I've been hearing. One of the concepts I have been hearing recently is e-commerce, especially for the luxury brands. E-commerce for luxury brands, wherein consumer walks into the store and consumer is having the product bought earlier, but is beyond the window of return period. And some of the companies are toying with the idea that how can our stores buy the product back right there at the point of store at a substantial discounts than what the consumer bought at, and then actually make the exchange right there at the appropriate price. Has anyone heard about that from our audience? Such a concept or experience this anywhere? Just asking aloud, not necessarily anybody had seen it, but this is something new, which I've been talking to one of the industry expert, and in fact, he asked me, industry executive, that do you have any solution which can help integrate with the point of solution? And then that was interesting. I saw earlier somebody else was also raising hand, but I couldn't note down the name. Is anyone else also? We have a couple of last minutes. We are wrapping up. We are running behind. Once again, apologies for all this initial thing, but we would like to certainly invite any comments anybody has or any question. Please unmute yourself and then get into the quick discussion or ask a question. Anybody would like to join and then ask any question or share opinion or comments anybody has? So pretty silent. Rob, do you want to have anything about forum you would like to share?
Hi, Bazan.
Hey, Rob. Small group.
A while back. What did you ask? Do you want more?
Any message for the meeting or this forum? Or what do you think about professional networking? How does that go?
I agree with you that when you said professional networking is something that really resonates with you. I think it's really important. Even so, past company that I worked for, had furloughs during COVID. When that happened, I reached out to those people. I did resonate quickly because I helped them network. It's always important to reach out because, no matter where you are in your professional career, it's good to network. You never know. I think Tom said it before, you're one step away from that next big thing, one person away. So it's always good to keep in contact and keep good relations and help people when they need it.
Great. So with this, I think with this, there are a few quotes which I would like to read for everybody. And then with that, we will do the closing. So these quotations I just collected related to the professional networking. And then you can pick and choose and tell us which one you like. So number one is everyone should build their network before they need it. It's by Dave Delaney. Networking is the most valued investment into yourself and then will surely make an impact into yours and in life of others. And then this is something I coined it. Invest into the quality, not quantity. That's very important. Who do you invest your time with? Networking is a lot like nutrition and fitness. We know what to do. The hard part is making it a top priority. I mean, we all know, we all want to have a nutrition and fitness, but it is difficult to get into. Next is, if you want 1 year of prosperity, grow grain. If you want 10 years of prosperity, grow trees. If you want 100 years of prosperity, grow your network. And then those who, the last is those that win in networking, give first, give generously, and give often. So that's the rule number one for networking. So give, then you tend to get it back. So with this, I think we will do the closing of this think tank. And then it seems like my colleague Jeannie wants to say something. but your time is 60 seconds. With that, we will close it.
If anybody has worked with me, they know I always have a question, but what I really wanted to witness tonight, we had a few things scripted, right? We had to talk what we were gonna talk about, how we were going to pass the microphone. But I sat here tonight and I honestly didn't know how tonight was my first time being an ambassador. And I must honestly say from the bottom of my heart, my father always said, may he rest in peace, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And that really is networking, right? And so, but tonight was, if you think about it, we had our competitors up here, we had some amazing talent online, and family and friends, and it's just really cool. Just I sat back and I actually felt like I was sitting at my kitchen table listening, and the stuff that I heard, I might not have related to some of it because I'm not in that specific industry or fitness. But when you talked about your daughter, 14-year-old daughter, and you talked about, there were just stories, and I think that's what's so cool about the meet, because that's what it's about. And this is my first time experiencing this. So thank you, everyone, online, here. I think it's amazing, and I'm proud to be part of it.
I think with this, we will close it. And then thank you once again, humbly, with the sincere gratitude to take the time aside on Friday evening and staying at Zoom. I think it's one of the hardest things for everybody. And then you took time aside and coming online, and then shared your opinion and then thoughts. Thank you once again. And we wish you a very happy New Year, happy holidays, and look forward to meeting you all and then seeing you all next year sometime soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.